Would you like to crochet for your baby girl something super cute? Then I got you! I have this perfect tutorial for this amazing crochet little tiny shoes for your baby one. So let's grab your hook and let's get started. So we are going to need yarn. I am concretely using Alize Baby Best with 4mm hook, some stitch marker, scissors, and we can start. First we are going to make a slip knot. Okay, so grabbing my yarn like this, turning over, grabbing the yarn and making a slip knot, putting it on the hook, and now I am going to make chain 11. So 1, 2, and now into the second chain from the hook I am going to place a half double crochet, so yarn over, and now I am not going through this bump, but I am trying to search. You see here we have more or less kind of a V shape, so here is one yarn and here is another yarn coming through, and I want to go somewhere in between. Okay, so this is my first half double crochet. I am putting my stitch marker into the first stitch. So now I am going to, together with this one, I am going to place 9 half double crochet. So 1. After 9 half double crochet, we have our last remaining stitch, and into that stitch we are going to place 6 half double crochet. Okay, so into the last stitch we are going to place 6 half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and now I am going to crochet along this side while I will try to hide also this yarn tail that I have. So I am going to make again, so now I'm going to make 8 half double crochet, and in the last stitch we are going to make more. So first let's make this 8 half double crochet, so while hiding this tail. So I am yarning over, I am going through, so now I have always only one loop there. I am pulling that tail over the hook as well, holding it like this and pulling through everything. Okay, so and this way I am going to make, this was my second 8 half double crochet. Okay, now I have my last remaining stitch, and there I am going to place 2 half double crochet. Okay, so into that one stitch, 1 and 2. Perfect. Now I'm going to cut this remaining tail because I don't need it anymore, it's hidden. Perfect. And now we can start with the round 2, but first we are going to slip stitch into our first chain. Okay, so I am going to make a slip stitch. Perfect. Now I am going to chain 1, and into the same stitch I am going to place 2 half double crochet. Okay, so 2. In the first one I am going to place my stitch marker. So first and second. Now I am going to make 8 half double crochet into the next stitch, into the next 8 stitches. Now I am going to make 6 time increases of half double crochet, which means 2 half double crochet in one stitch 6 times, so altogether basically 12 times. So I am going to place 2 half double crochet into the next 6 stitches. Afterwards I am going to place into the next 8 stitches just 1 half double crochet. Okay, and here I want you to be careful to not mislead your slip stitch with your stitch. So you see here, these are last remaining 2 stitches, but you see kind of 3 loops here. You see 1, 2 and 3, but this one is not our stitch, this is a slip knot from the previous round, so be always careful to not count it as a stitch. So we have last remaining 2 stitches where I am going to place 2 half double crochet in each of them. Okay, so 2, And now what I'm going to do, so this is my first half double crochet into my last stitch. And I can now make just the normal half double crochet and make a slip stitch. But when you are crocheting in around with the slip stitching, so not just in around that you are continuously, let's say continuing, there could be a hole. And in order to avoid that hole, I have a little trick. So always when I'm making my last stitch, which would be basically second half double crochet in my last stitch, I am kind of making always two together. What does it mean? So I'm starting my half double crochet, yarning over, going through the stitch, and now I would normally yarn over and pulling through all three and finish the stitch. But I am not doing that. I'm yarning over again and going through that fake kind of stitch that I told you that is not stitch, it's our slip stitch, basically, and I'm going over through there as well. Okay, now I have 5 loops on my hook and I'm pulling through all of them. Don't worry, this way, as you are making two together, you are not increasing your number of stitches, and you are making sure that you don't have a hole afterwards in between those. So this is kind of my trick that I am using. So this is the end of the row 2, so now we are just going to slip stitch into our first stitch. Okay, chain 1. And now in the round 3 we are going to make, again into the same stitches, we are going to place 2 half double crochet. So first one, don't forget to highlight it with the stitch marker. So first one, second one. Into the next stitch we are going to place also 2 half double crochet. So first and second. Now we are going to make into the next 9 stitches just simple half double crochet. Okay, so we are just going to make 9 half double crochet and I'm going to meet you there. Now what we are going to do, we are going to be making increases, but how? So we are going to, after these 9 half double crochet, we are going to make increase, so 2 half double crochet into 1 stitch, so 1 and 2. And into the next stitch just 1 half double crochet. In the next stitch again increases, so 2 half double crochet into the next one, half double crochet. And this sequence, so 2 half double crochet and 1 half double crochet, we are going to repeat 6 times. Okay, so repeat it 6 times and then I am going to meet you. Okay, now we are going to make 9 half double crochet. Then we have remaining 2 stitches there where we are going to make in each of them increases, so it means 2 half double crochet in each of them, and then we are going to slip stitch to join. Okay, and then we will do together round 4. Okay, before we continue we want to check our size, so from the size 0 to 3 months more or less, so I have it now as a 9 centimeter. This is enough for me. Okay, so now we can do let's say we can start making the upper part. So what we are going to do is, so first I am going to slip stitch into my first stitch. Okay, now I have altogether 44 stitches all around. If you want to count, just count to make sure that you have 44 stitches. And now we are going to chain 1 and we are going to make back post single crochet. What does it mean? So standardly we would go through these 2 loops to make our single crochet, but this time we are not going to do that. We are going to be making it kind of in between the stitches. How? So I am going to put my so I am going to go with my hook behind, focus, okay, behind, going from behind inside, from let's say behind to front. Yeah, now you see here, this is my 1 stitch, this kind of, let's say, column. So I am going in front of it and then finding the next hole, so something like this, you see, and I am grabbing the yarn, pulling through the first loop, so 2 loops, and finishing single crochet. Okay, So now I will put the stitch marker there. So this is the beginning of the row. Perfect. Now let me show you again. So then I am going into the next one. So this is my first one. I'm going into the next one. Again from behind, pulling the yarn and finishing off. Again, you see now it's getting much more easier because kind of the holes will be created there for you where you should basically continue. So we are going from behind to the front, in front of the one of the column, pulling the yarn, pulling it like this. Okay, come on, it's quite slippery. 2 loops on my hook and finishing off. Again, I have here this hole. So, and this way you are just going to simply do for each of the stitch, so you can count to not make a mistake. So it should be 44 stitches, and you are going from behind to the front, going over the one of the columns to go behind again, something like this, pulling the yarn and pulling again. I'm going to show one more time. So front, back, pulling through and pulling through. Okay, so do this all the way till the end, and I'm going to meet you at the end of the row 4. Okay, once you are done with all of your 44 stitches, this is something how it should look like. Okay, so you see, come on, that is basically very nicely making that now that we are going to go up. So now in the row 5, it's very simple. We are just going to simply slip stitch, making chain 2, and now making half double crochet into the same stitch. And now we are just going to simply half double crochet in each of the stitch. So making no increases, nothing, just simply half double crochet in each of the stitch. Okay, for the whole round 5. And then at the end of the round 5, I'm going to meet you. Okay, so then we are just going to simply slip stitch, and in the round, and in our round 6, we are going to firstly chain 2, make 13 half double crochet. Okay, so make 13 half double crochet, and I'm going to meet you there. Okay, now we are going to start with our decreases. So after you've done your 13 half double crochet, we are going to make our first decrease, which we will making as a 2 half double crochet 2 together. So what I will do, I will yarn over, going through my stitch, pulling the yarn, but I'm not finishing my stitch. I'm yarning over and going into the next stitch, pulling through the yarn. Now I have 5 loops on my hook, and I am pulling through all of them. Okay, so this was my first decrease. Now in the next stitch I am going to make half double crochet, just simple half double crochet, and now I am going to repeat this decrease again. So yarning over, going into my stitch, pulling through the yarn, not finishing the stitch, yarning over, going into the next stitch, pulling the yarn, 5 loops on my hook, and pulling through all of them like this, and into the next stitch, just simple 1 half double crochet. So you are going to be repeating 6 times. So we already made together 2, so I need to make another 4, so 6 together, where you are going to be switching between decrease and then 1 half double crochet. Okay, so once you are done with your 6 repetitions, then you are going to just simply finish. You will have remaining 13 stitches, where you will just simply finish just 1 half double crochet in each of the stitch. So basically by the end of the row 6, we will have 38 stitches all together. And I'm going to meet you at the beginning of the row 7. Okay, in the round 7 we are going to start making everything just single crochet. Okay, so to chain 1, crochet the first stitch, put my stitch marker there, Now I am going to, so this was my first stitch, so into the remaining 12 stitches I am going to single crochet, so altogether 13 single crochet. Okay, so once you are done with your 13 single crochet, I am going to meet you. Okay, now we are going to, after 13 single crochet, we are going to make 6 times decreases, but this time as a single crochet, not half double crochet. So what does it mean? It's kind of the same like half double crochet, but we are just not yarning over before. So now I am going directly through that stitch, pulling the yarn, not finishing my single crochet, going into the next stitch, pulling the yarn, and then pulling all 3 at the same time. Okay, we need to make 6 decreases. Okay, so 6 times repeating this. I'm going to show one more time. So going into the stitch, pulling the yarn, not finishing it, going into the next stitch, pulling the yarn. Now I have 3 loops on my hook and pulling through all 3 of them. So going, so this was my second decrease, going into the next one, pulling the yarn, and like this. Okay, so make 6 of them and then finish the remaining stitches with single crochet, which will be 13 all together. So by the end of this row we will have 32 stitches, and then in the row 8 you are just going to simply again chain 1 and single crochet all around. So you are just making just simple single crochet, you do not increase, you do not decrease anything, just simple single crochet, and then row 9 we are going to make together. Okay, in the round 9 we are going to be distinguishing if we are making a right one, right shoe or left shoe. So first I'm going to show you row 9 how to do it for the right shoe. Okay, so you are just going to start with chaining 1, single crochet into the first stitch, and basically you are going to be, sorry, not single crochet, you are going to be making half double crochet. So you are going to chain 2, making half double crochet into the next 11 stitches. Okay, so this is my first, plus I need to make another 10, so altogether 11 half double crochet. Okay, after you are done with your 11 half double crochet, we are going to be chaining 14, so 1, okay, and now I am going to be making half double crochet, but I will start into the 4th chain from the hook. So this is my first chain, second chain, third chain, 4th chain. So there I am going to place half double crochet. Okay, to make this kind of a hole, and I am going to half double crochet all the way till down, so it should be 10 half double crochet. Okay, so this is how your work should look like by now. Okay, so I made my 10 double crochet. Okay, and now I am going to slip stitch into the last half double crochet that I made, so into my 11th one. So not into the next stitch, but into the same stitch that I started my chaining. There I am going to make a slip stitch. Okay, perfect, to kind of join it together, make it tight. Okay, now we are going to be making 10 slip stitches for the next 10 stitches. So just make a slip stitch. Okay, 1. So after you are done with your 10 slip stitches, you are just going to simply half double crochet into the remaining 11 stitches, so 11 half double crochet, and then you are done basically with your right shoe. Now when it comes to the left shoe, so we are making our row 9 as following. We are going to chain 2 and then half double crochet into the next 11 stitches. Okay, afterwards we are going to be slip stitching into the next 10 stitches. Okay, after we are done with 10 slip stitches, we are going to chain 14 and we are going to place half double crochet into our 4th chain from the hook. If you want to make your hole bigger, then just put it into the later on. I do not want my hole little big because I will be using a pearl as a button. So this is up to you, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 4th. And it is, now we are going to be making 10 half double crochet down the chain. Now we are going to make a half double crochet into the same stitch that we placed the slip stitch. Okay, and we are just going to simply half double crochet all the way down till the end. After we are done, we are just going to make a slip stitch and fasten off. I am leaving a little bit longer tail because actually I want to use the same yarn for sewing my pearl as a button, so I'm just going to fasten off. Okay, so the shoe part is done. Now I am going to show you how to make a bow. So we are going to need a yarn, so I am concretely using for this one cotton friend 8/8 and 4mm hook. So we are going to firstly make a magic ring. So grabbing my yarn around my fingers like this, turning it, grabbing the yarn with my pinky. Now going with the hook under the first yarn and grabbing the second yarn like this, and the yarn that I am holding with my pinky, pulling through that loop. Come on, perfect. Now we can make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so now we are going to chain 3. Now we are going to place 5 double crochet into the magic ring. Now I am going to chain 3. Now I am going to place a slip stitch into the magic ring, so pulling the yarn like this and through our loop that I have on my hook. Perfect. I can make it a little bit tighter. And now we are going to repeat the same step. So again, chaining 3 and making 5 double crochet. Now chaining 3 and making a slip stitch, tightening up our magic ring. Okay, if you want to keep the hole here, you can keep it. If you don't, you can tighten it completely. So this is really up to you. And your bow is done. We are just going to simply fasten off. So I am choosing one of the tails, doesn't matter which one. I am just putting it into the, not tapestry, but the normal needle, because the pearl is super small. So now putting this little bit thicker yarn through that is a little bit always tricky. Now I am putting the pearl on it. Okay, now it's in. And basically what I am trying to do is kind of put the pearl into the place I want. So something like this. Okay, holding it in a place, and very close to that place I am just going with my needle and tightening it up. Okay, just making a knot here. This part won't be visible, so I think one knot will be enough. Good. And now we are grabbing our shoe and I am placing the bow somewhere here. I already have this tail on the needle, so I am going to use it. So somewhere like this, going inside out, outside in, and pulling through. The second yarn I am going to just pull through with my hook. Okay, it's easier. And okay, and here I am just going to make a knot. So here, of course, you can then sew it more tighter, you can use more stitches and so on. Okay, so it's really how you wish. And also you can secure the bow how you want on the shoes. Okay, so this is just my first initial knot, and if it is the way I want to have it, I will keep it that way and not changing anything, or then I can just secure it more. Let's see how it looks like once I tighten it up. Yeah, I kind of like it, so I will keep it. So I will just now simply hide the yarn and my bow is tied. And basically similar way on the side where I don't have my strap, or how to call it, I am going to place somewhere here also a pearl, a bigger pearl, so you just need to measure it, so then it's basically bigger than this hole that you have right here. So I'm going to place the pearl there, and yeah, my shoes are done. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If so, please don't forget to give a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell, so then you can keep up with all of my upcoming tutorials. Until next time, happy crocheting!